I hope you all are having a great, wonderful day. And my big thing today was let your emotions out, whether they're good or they're bad. Just let it out. I just had a major release of stuff I thought I would let go a lot more than I thought I did, but sometimes you still find stuff. And it's okay. It's okay to scream. It's okay to cry. It's okay to want to hit something. Preferably not a person, but there are lots of pillows and you know those punching bags. There are so many different options because as you're experiencing these feelings, because my feelings just all of a sudden came over me, and I'm like, oh, I just need to get a new towel to do dishes, and then I saw myself in the mirror, and then I just started going in this monologue. I'm just like, oh, okay, this is what's happening right now. And I wasn't expecting because I'm just trying to grab a towel to do some dishes because I regularly change the towel in my kitchen because I'll use it to dry, and once it gets wet, bacteria and stuff like that. And I'm just like, because I also will wipe my hands with the towels, I change them pretty often. I'm just like, where did that come from? Great. And when you're getting it out, even if you can't get it all out, if you get some of it out, it is so good for you, especially if they tend to be negative emotions, because it's just showing you something that is not in alignment with you, and it's just getting out. And I've heard this, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think it's true based on other things that I've heard, especially when you have tears. Now, don't quote me on the study. This is what I heard. Y'all can look for the study if you want to look for it for the scientific research. But they said the constitution of your tears, the chemical components vary based on what you're experiencing. Like tears of joy are chemically different than tears of sorrow versus, or like crocodile tears and stuff like that. And I definitely find that true for myself. That's up to you if you want to find that true. And no, just getting all that out just released more stuff for me. And it's just like, even if it's just only chipping away at certain belief systems, whatever, it's fine. Let it chip away. I would love for it all to go out in one swoop, but I guess I need a process to do a little bit at a time. Maybe it's too much for one thing. I don't know. Or maybe it is, and my human brain is just, oh, it's out. But is it really out? Maybe I'm doubting myself. I don't know. So I'm just going to encourage you just to let stuff out. Like, if because for me, honestly, this came out of nowhere. I'm just trying to wash dishes. And I'm like crying. I'm just like, okay, this needs to come out. And it's okay. Like, okay, I'm just crying in the middle of the day, randomly out of nowhere, as I'm just trying to do my dishes. It's actually pretty funny if you think about it. I'm just trying to grab a towel, do dishes, and I just have this big release and let go of what's no longer serving me. And that just felt great. And we need to do different things to release and let go. And then after you're done releasing and let go, do something good for yourself, because sometimes your body's just exhausted from all the energy that's that's flowing out, whatever. Even in good things, you have extra energy, but sometimes it's just like maybe you need to ground, get your feet on soil. What I chose to do was take a shower because I felt like I needed another shower anyway. And I was actually gonna get ready to take a shower in like the next hour, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. And it just felt good because just letting the water just also help that energy just flowing out. That was really therapeutic. I believe they also say like showers and things are also very grounding. And I believe the science with that, don't quote me on this, but the science is why showers and even baths are grounding is because you have this water, even if it's city treated and stuff like that, is still going through copper pipes, which is still a grounding element. And that helps you ground and it helps you relax. And that's exactly what I needed. And I'm like, okay, great. So I was like, okay, so we'll do the dishes a little later. It's just like, okay, we need a shower. And then, doing stuff with my face and hair and stuff like that, putting all the oils in. And I'm like, okay, now I can do the dishes. And I just feel lighter. And when you have so much energy like that, whether it's positive or negative. Sometimes it just needs to come out. Like, I've even had good experiences of things, and like sometimes my body just twitches because like there's just so much energy running through. Like, I think my nervous system was like, we don't know exactly what to do. It doesn't really last for very long. And like, you can experience so many great things, and there's just so much out there that we don't know. Or, okay, we're gonna do this right now. This is gonna take you way over there. You're gonna get to where you wanted to go like 3 times faster just because you had this like little meltdown. And I really believe that, because it's just like, it's out, or at least most of it's out. I don't know. I'll probably discover it if I still have a lot of stuff with it, because I think I have a belief system that I feel like I need to hold on to certain things too long. So I don't know. I'm still playing with that, but a big chunk of it is just gone. I know a big chunk is gone because it's like, I literally feel lighter. Like, I don't feel as heavy. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced that, when you're really able to let something go. It's like, rather it's, a toxic situation, toxic job thing, toxic person, just feel lighter and more at peace. And I'm loving that right now. I honestly can't tell you how good I feel after a cry. And that's why, they say like something, it's good to have a good cry. Like, if you really need to cry it out, just get it out. Don't be ashamed of it. It's just like, what comes out wants to come out. And you can choose to allow those feelings to be buried and to fester and to grow more. That's totally your choice. I don't recommend it. And there have been times, I'm sure many of us have done that, maybe without realizing it. But the thing to keep in mind is, I don't have to stay there. I can choose this moment to go think of something else, or I can choose this moment, maybe I need to dig a little deeper, and what's positive out of this situation. And sometimes you can't figure out what the positive thing is. Maybe the positive thing is like, I'm at least aware of it. I'm aware that I have, that's a positive and win for me. That, oh, I have this going on. I didn't realize I had this going on. Oh, I'm still holding on to this. Great, I'm aware of it. I'm not deluding myself, not realizing it. And sometimes we just need to do that for ourselves. Just take that moment and just really come to terms with, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling? What is it? What is it about the beliefs that I have that's making me feel this way? Because we don't always know. Because I had this one teacher, and it was very enlightening experience. And she would often say, what is it about me that blah, 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 whatever the story is. And I hated that. You know what? Because not that the fact that it was putting like bringing, being, bleh, allowing myself to be accountable, responsible for my own choices that I'm making, that part I had no problem with. It's just, after the first 2 times, every time she would say that, it felt judgmental. And I didn't like that. I didn't like how that made me feel because of my emotions attached to it. And maybe other people in the group I was in didn't see it that way, but I certainly did. And maybe you're seeing it that way as I'm explaining it, maybe not. But, that's why when I heard someone else, Bashar, saying, what is it about what I believe? Da 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have this attachment and judgment of myself, because when she said it that way, I had so much judgment on myself. It's just like, what else am I doing wrong that I don't understand? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't figure it out. I would just place so much judgment on myself. Like, I'm a bad person. I don't know why I'm doing this. I didn't think it was wrong at the time, but you're telling me that it kind of is. And it's just like, for me, it was my definition of that. So if you find yourself maybe in a similar thing that I was going through, where you feel like you're judging yourself all the time, because we have moments, so we all have moments where we are exploring different themes of our lives, and there are times we feel stuck. And when we feel stuck, it's hard to not take it personal and go through all the angst of it and stuff like that. And me changing the question from what is about me versus what is it about what I believe that made a huge step for me. It's like I no longer hold the same judgment on myself. I no longer berate myself because, that's been a common theme for many of us growing up and people we've interacted with. It's just like, maybe you experience it with job, like, you're not doing this right. Why aren't you doing this better? You should. If you're not on time, you're late. If you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. I never agreed with that. I personally never agreed with that. And I'm just like, everyone has their own definitions. And I'm just like, this doesn't make sense for me. It's like, if I'm on time, I'm late. But if I'm early, I'm on time. I don't know. Can y'all agree with me? Is it just me? I don't know. That's just my definition because, you know, I would hear this, coming to appointments or, dealing with work and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, so, but then I would get in trouble if I were to clock in early, then it's considered, or clock in late to finish, whatever, something like that, because XYZ, let's just stick it with the early vibe because that makes more sense at this moment. But if I clocked in early because I got there early, I would be in trouble because I'm quote unquote stealing time, even though your definition was if I'm on time, I'm late. But if I'm early, I'm on time. Isn't it crazy how our definitions are so different depending on the scenarios and who we're talking to and stuff like that? And I'm just encouraging you, like, what are your definitions and scenarios? And maybe the reason why you're having so much drama or conflicts with someone is because you have different definitions. And, maybe just take the time, maybe even talk to her. I was like, what do you think of this? How do you define this as? Because there's sometimes people just, they don't agree just because they're operating on different levels of understanding. And if you don't have that commonality thing, it's hard to work together if you're like in, what's a good analogy, like if you're in, I don't know, because I don't want to necessarily be higher and lower, because I don't want to play into that dichotomy, like one's better than the other because one's higher or one's lower and stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, here we go. So if one person is playing basketball but another person is playing soccer, how can they play a game together? Because they're going by completely different rules. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Because if the person who's playing basketball thinks the other person is playing basketball, but they're playing soccer, it's no wonder that the basketball player is getting, you know, agitated by the soccer player. Like, what are you doing? That's not how you play basketball, and vice versa. And it's just like, so I'm just going to invite you to look at your definitions, because maybe a lot of the emotions you're experiencing are because of your definitions. Most of the time they are. And once you kind of just lay it out and see it for what it is, it's like, oh, okay. And that's kind of like how we learn how to manage with certain people. I believe in being, I used to be the person that just want to always be brutally honest. And, over years and stuff like that, obviously, as I got older, you know, it's good to be kind. It really is good to be kind. And it's like, do I need to nitpick and point out the tiny little thing that was wrong with what you said or blah, blah, blah? No. Could I? Sure. But do I have to? No. Do I still sometimes do it? Yes. But sometimes it's just good to be kind. And, sometimes through your kindness of something, it puts people, it like brings people's defenses down, because they think they're coming into a war zone, and you're just like, it's okay, it's cool, whatever. It's just like, okay. But it's not like, it's just about navigating what's in front of you, and how you talk to certain people. Now, this is something that troubled me a lot. It doesn't trouble me anymore, but it troubled me a lot, especially with other teachers I've had in the past. And I say it because it's like, I want to learn how to communicate better, because I often feel that people don't fully understand what I'm communicating, expressing. So that's why I'm going to different teachers and learning all this stuff, because I just want to learn to communicate better. And So we're all on the same page, because I had trouble with that, because I'm thinking I'm saying one thing, they're hearing something completely different. Yes, Joe, I know. And so, emotions can arise when we just have all these misunderstandings where, like, I'm talking about basketball and you're talking about soccer, but I'm like, but we can't play a game if we're doing two different things. But once the misunderstanding is clear, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, okay. And that's how we sometimes have to talk with people. And there are just some people that don't want to agree with you, that don't want to have that cohesion. And you know what? That's okay. They probably will not stay in your field for that long. If it's that disharmonious, it's okay. I mean, yeah, sometimes, no, like, there's always something to learn from the experience. There's always something you can find positive about the experience. And not everyone's going to like you. And that's okay. And the more you focus on yourself and who you are, you're going to be drawn to more people that are like you. And even if something bad happens, someone says something, sometimes it's hard to find the positive, but it doesn't have to be. It could be as good as, like, wow, that was interesting. I'm so grateful. I have so many of my other friends that don't act this way. Like, they're kind, they're supportive, they give me gifts on my birthday, or if I'm, like, feeling really depressed and things like that. It's a reflection. What's the word? I'm having a human moment where I don't remember the word. But it's just like, oh, it's through contrast that, like, you can appreciate so much of what you do have compared to with something else. It's kind of why I often go through the am I the asshole stories, because it's just like, it makes me so appreciate the life that I have when I hear all these stories of other things else. Granted, I take into account, okay, I can't watch them for too long because I don't want to get in that negative vibe, but each time I hear those, it's like, it makes me so grateful that my life is what it is. Because, you know, there are many people that have experienced tragedies that I don't want to go through. And I'm so grateful I don't have to go through that. And those people that go through it, and they are strong, empowered beings, and kudos to them. And I'm just grateful that we have this concept of duality and contrast, so I can appreciate more of what I have. Because as I just appreciate more, I just feel more at peace. And with that, I want to feel more at peace. I want to express that more. So, even if I have to force myself to smile, because sometimes people have, like, that resting bitch face. I'm kind of one of those people. And so we're like, what's wrong? I'm like, huh? What? Like, I'm not even paying attention. So sometimes I just have to actively smile more. And it's good. You know what? Let that happiness vibe just fade out, like, emanate out. That's the word. Emanate out. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be loud, but it can be. I'm big and loud with my partner, like, because I can't help but express how much I love him. And my cat, Jill, who's right here. Yes. Like, I'm big and expressive with that. And maybe with other people's situations, I'm more quieter with that, but people still know I'm there, and I express it maybe through other ways. Maybe it's, like, through the different gifts I give, or maybe it's the different conversations, or, like, the enlightened thing, because, I have a friend, like, we talk about various different things, and it's just like, I'll, like, point something out to him, like, you do realize ABC, and he's like, oh my God, like, how did I not see that? And then he changed so much stuff just from that little light bulb going off. And like, something small. You're emanating good vibes. Doesn't have to be a super big show. You don't have to be the most extroverted person being friends with everyone. Like, do what feels right for you. And just be in that energy. Express your joy in that sense. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I would love to hear from you all, or whoever wants to say something. Maybe a comment would be great too. But if you don't, that's okay too. I'll still be making videos. I'm not as consistent as I used to be, because I wanted to do, like, okay, let's do 30 days in a row. And I did it for the most part. But other things have just been coming up. And I'm just like, I just needed to explore those. And then when I come to this, I'm coming to this in a moment of joy versus I'm coming to this with a moment of dread. It's like I have to do it versus I get to do it. And with that, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.